much in the mood for it because anxious moments will be spent in those dressing rooms before this match is out this afternoon. Now the big man himself, Liam McHale. A lot of people hope that he has a great afternoon. John Finn going in as well. But now, while the players have been arriving and while the half-time minor players are taking their break, the skills from the young people in the national schools all over the country continue here.
Kellogg's Raisin Smiths. Raisin in the middle.
It's a taste sensation, a wheat and raisin celebration. All wrapped up in a perfect square.
The taste is simply beyond compare. Raisin in the middle. Kellogg's Raisin Splits.
Powerful. Reliable. Economical. Caproven. Caproven is the mighty one you can really rely on. Just one treatment of Caproven smashes mastitis. Through 4 weeks, through 6 weeks, throughout the 8-week dry period, right up to calving. Nothing else gives all-round, longer-lasting protection. Caproven, the long-lasting dry cow protection.
Nescafe, Nescafe, the better way to start your day. Isn't it time that you woke up to a richer, smoother tasting cup?
Nescafe's special blend and roast. Now that deserves an encore.
Come on, you lot. Breakfast ready.
That smells good.
Coffee at its best.
Sheep are in danger from Pasteurella and Clostridial diseases. Protect them with Heptavac P, the only combined Pasteurella and Clostridial vaccine for sheep from Herbst.
Whatever your size or style of car, like as not, there's a tire just right for it. Made by the same people who produce tires that fit this little runabout. Semperit tires, hugging every corner of the world.
Golden Vale Milk carries the approved quality symbol. It's your guarantee of top quality milk and cream. Why not try it tomorrow?
In less than 5 years, earn 50% return with Sure Growth. Say yes to Sure Growth from EBS. Your capital and interest are guaranteed.
Had to move. The Uggy Sweets had built a Steve Silvermint robot. He was in my office, trying to steal the Silvermint's formula. I knocked on the door. Come in. I politely entered. Good-looking guy. Bet he got mixed up with the Uggy Sweets. Silvermint's, the cool, clean hero.
In homes all over Ireland, the good news keeps spreading. And spreading. And spreading. And spreading. There's only one Dairy Gold, and it's from Mitchelstown. Make it your daily spread.
Stick, prime, seal with Durabond, the strong one.
O'Herlihy's Bacon Cork for quality bacon, sausages and home-cooked hams. Gigantic sale starts this Tuesday at Dennis Lorden's Westward TV, Wilton, Cork.
Protecting your sports gear? Tessa has a tape for it.
For weddings and functions, check out the newly refurbished Hibernian Hotel, Mallow, County Cork. Best wishes from the Co-op Shops, main sponsors of the Cork football team.
On final day, it has become practice to honour one of the great teams of the past. Today, it is the turn of the Galway 3-in-a-row side, introduced now by Mick Dunn.
Already won a medal in 1956. Seamus Layden was the speedster at left half forward. Christy Tyrrell, an opportunist right full forward. Sean Cleary was 3 years at full forward. John Keenan, the menacing left corner forward. And Liam Salmon came in for the 66 championship. And the panel then was completed by Mick Moore, Kieran O'Connor, Tommy Sands, Brian Geraghty, Tommy Keenan, and Michael Cohen. So once again, a cordial let's acclaim these Galway players who were the champions of 1964, 65 and 66.
Mid-60s, the last Western team to take the Sam Maguire across the Shannon. Will Mayo be the next this afternoon? Well, that remains to be seen. On my panel today, I have Sean Boylan and Mick O'Dwyer. Mick, you remember that Galway team of the mid-60s?
Yeah, I have good reason to remember, and I can tell you, Michael. They beat us in the All-Ireland semi-final in 63, beat us in the final of 64, 1965. They were an exceptionally good team, one of the great sides, I would say.
Sean, I just posed the question there. Will Mayo be the next Western team to take the Sam Maguire over the Shannon? Will they, do you think?
Well, quite honestly, from what I see it going south. I'd love to see it going west. I'd love to see, because it's been so long since it has gone down there. It's been so long since it's gone to Mayo. But in an All-Ireland final and on All-Ireland final day, there's no room for sentiment. And you got to say it as you see it. And as I see it, Cork seem to have the better balanced side. And
after the torture that you and the Meath players imposed on Meath supporters for the last 2 years, I'm sure for that reason alone you wouldn't mind seeing it going south.
No, I suppose it's true, but at the same time, you know, life is so full of what might have been, and a lot will tell today if things, you know, happen to be very tight for a long time today. It'll be interesting to see what way Cork will react. Will, you know, what happened over the last couple of years, will it affect them? An awful lot of their forwards, you know, from play, they're going to have to up their game an awful lot in the way they played in the semi-final. Even though, like, they won the semi-final, they're still not putting it together like the way I thought they should. I'm amazed that John O'Driscoll is not out there, as Mick was saying earlier today in the paper.
Well, that's one of the questions about this final. It's questions that we'll be going back to in a few moments, gentlemen. But right now, the Artane Boys Band, as you can probably hear, have struck up behind me again. So let's take a little bit of the entertainment from the boys in the band. Artane Boys Band. A little over a half an hour to go now before the throw-in of the senior game here at Croke Park. It's a very anxious time, of course, for the players. This half hour will seem to go on forever. Now, two people who have been very close to the teams over the weekend have been George Hamilton and Jimmy McGee. Jimmy McGee has been in the Mayo camp all weekend. Perhaps he knows better than anybody how those Mayo players are feeling right now.
I have seen teams and individuals get good receptions when they returned home victorious, but I don't think I've ever heard or seen a team get such a reception before an event as Mayo did when they arrived at Dublin Airport yesterday evening. And some of that reception committee are behind me here, as you can well hear. They're gone football mad in Mayo. That they surely have. They've waited 38 years for an All-Ireland win. Whether they do it today or not, well, they're certainly enjoying themselves anyway. If even a small percentage of this enthusiasm seeps through to the players, then it's look out Cork. The Mayo team's in good spirits. They have no headaches, no toothaches, no bellyaches, no sneezes. There's been a rumour going around Croke Park that TJ Kilgallen was not starting. Forget the rumour. TJ will be there. They've looked at the videos. They had their talk-ins at the Great Northern Hotel in Bundoran the other weekend. But I think what will spur them on more than anything else is the fact that people are saying they are 3-1 outsiders. These people behind me hate that. I should imagine the team likewise. It might be moonlight on Mayo. It might be sunlight as well.
Jimmy McGee has the power, there's no doubt about it. Let's go back to the Artane Boys Band again. The Artane Boys Band now. Briefly, I've been asked to send good wishes to Tony Watkins in Ballinrobe. He is the manager of the Mayo under-16 team. Now, Tony is missing today's match. In actual fact, this is his first All-Ireland final in 37 years that he's missed. And that comes from the Clonbur GEA club in Galway. Right, so much for the Mayo side of it. What about Cork? What kind of shape are they in as they prepare for their big match? George Hamilton is in the Cork camp.
I wish somebody had told me that the Canal End was where the Mayo supporters are. I'm not too popular down here in the red and white, but I can tell you that all the way from the Burlington Hotel to Croke Park, the Cork team has remained in splendid spirits. They firmly believe that the experience of two losing All-Irelands here at Croke Park is going to stand to them on this afternoon, because Cork, as you know, have a vastly experienced team right the way through it to the man who will lead them out here a little later, Dinny Allen. 37 years of age, yes, and an FAI Cup winners medal to his credit. He's aiming to make history today by taking an All-Ireland medal as well. Dinny is the joker in the pack, playing cards on the train on the way up yesterday. He was the one who kept them all bubbling and in good spirits. And I think it's the Cork spirits that are going to carry them through in this All-Ireland. They are certainly confident, nearly said supremely confident. Let's just say quietly confident, because they believe certainly that they can beat Mayo. One final thing, just to prove that the Cork camp is magnanimous. I got the word that a very staunch Mayo supporter only on Friday was taken into hospital in Castlebar. Pat Rouse from Ballina, your best wishes from the Cork camp, and maybe you'll enjoy the game even if Cork do win.
Well, as George Hamilton tries to get out of the Mayo end, let's try and distract their attention with a little bit more from the Artane Boys Band. beautiful noise, as it always is, from the Artane Boys Band. You know, teams may play well, teams may play badly at Croke Park. Artane Boys Band always play well. Right now, another comment from our panel at this stage. Sean Boylan, you were saying earlier that you can't understand why John O'Driscoll is left off this Cork team. Mick O'Dwyer, what's your thoughts on that?
I can't understand it, and I stated in one of the papers today that there's no reasoning at all, Eddie, because I rate John O'Driscoll one of the best forwards in the game. I can tell you, if he was around even in the middle of our period there, we had a really good side. I think John O'Driscoll would be one of the players that would have gone on to that side. And against us in the Munster final this year, he was the one player, I think, that caused us an amount of problems. He was the player, actually, that sealed the game for Cork just before half-time. He got the goal that made all the difference. But I suppose maybe Billy Morgan and his selectors might have ideas of their own. I don't know what the reason for it is. Maybe he wasn't playing too well in training or what, I don't know, but I couldn't see it. I think he's a player that should be automatically on the team.
Well, Mick, from a Mayo point of view, I suppose it's not the Cork people that are not on the team, but it's the Cork people who are on the team that they have to worry about this afternoon. More from this All-Ireland final after the commercial break. Do stay with us.
Lynx, the all-over body spray for men in musk, amber, spice and oriental. Lynx, because first impressions last.
Never been a taste like this before, not ever. Great new sausage, cheesy taste, that's clever. Made by Gouty and it's sure all their kids will ask for more. Never been a taste like this before, not ever.
New cheesy sausages from Gouty. Has there ever been a taste like this before?
Not ever.
Did you know that Kerry Low has a lot less going for it? Less fat, less cholesterol, less calories, and a much lighter taste than many sunflower spreads you might care to mention. Now, doesn't it do your heart good to hear that? Golden Light Low from Kerry.
When Jim Malloy ordered his new four-wheel drive Nissan Patrol, he had his reasons. But there's one reason he may just have overlooked. And that is the same Nissan technology that makes the Nissan Patrol so effective conquering off-road terrain is also backed by the famous Nissan warranty. 3 years or 100,000 kilometers on mechanical parts and 3 years anti-rust. And that's going to please Jim for years and years to come.
Teamwork. The road to success, that's the Mayo football team. And behind the Mayo team, NCF Co-op. The name that stands for quality dairy and meat products. The Mayo football team and NCF Co-op, a winning combination.
Gigantic sale starts this Tuesday at Dennis Lorden's Westward TV, Wilton, Cork.
For all top brands of Irish manufactured furniture, visit Ballincollig Furniture.
For prompt delivery of quality cattle slats and ready-mix, contact Lacquer Concrete, Galway. For Silomac block cutters, shear grabs, bale wrappers and slurry pumps, contact McHale Engineering, Kilmaine, County Mayo. Or Marsh & Company, Ballina and Sanusi wish Mayo every success. Welcome Inn Hotel, Castlebar offers a standard luxury ensuite accommodation. Casio, the ultimate in cash registers and systems, distributed by CBE Claremorris.
The Imperial Hotel Cork, the ideal businessman's good value grade A hotel.
Best wishes from the Co-op shops, main sponsors of the Cork football team.
It's 14 minutes past 3. The two teams are due out on the field here at Croke Park at any second now. Sean Boylan, we've been just looking at the crowd here. The Mayo people, they're very, very anxious. There's tension on their faces there as they wait for their team to arrive out.
It's unbelievable. You can nearly sense it right through. It's an electric thing. My God Almighty, when they appear, what's going to happen?
Everybody is peering into that tunnel area here. They're about to be rewarded because the teams are coming out, Sean.
What can you say to that?
And so Mayo, with their photographs taken, some of the substitutes moving away now to just leave the 15 lads who will start the action there be photographed. Jimmy Brown from Ballina, the honour of leading the Connacht champions in their quest for glory this afternoon. Noel Durkin there with Greg Maher. And as you'll gather, that huge and highly partisan ovation that the Mayo fans gave their team, something we'll remember. But now, it's the turn of Cork. Dennis Allen at the head of a hungry side, hungry for glory following the reversal at the hands of Meath in the last 2 years. Huge support for Cork. Good afternoon now to viewers of Channel 4 across Britain. Welcome to the All-Ireland football final between Cork and Mayo. Both teams have just come out onto the field. Cork, who won the Munster Championship in the south for the third year in succession, have lost the last two All-Ireland finals, whereas Mayo, the Connacht champions in the west, haven't played in the final for 38 years. Expectations are high for a flowing game of all that's good in Gaelic football, so hope you'll enjoy the final with us as we include in the greeting viewers all over the world. Viewers watching this match this afternoon in the US, in Canada, in Australia, and ZDF TV in Germany as well, taking up our coverage. So let's now take a close-up look at the personalities who make today's news. Starting with Mayo, this is how the Connacht champions line out.
Gabriel was man of the match in the semi-final following another terrific performance. Jimmy is regarded by many Mayo fans as their good luck captain. How can he keep on winning? Strong and resourceful at fullback, he's made an impressive comeback to the Mayo colours. Dermot hopes to emulate the success enjoyed by his father Sean, also a Mayo defender. Strength and great heart are just two of the many qualities Mihal possesses. After years of trying, TJ deservedly gets the honour today of playing in the match of the year. Match after match this year, John has turned in a performance of the highest quality. Now plays his club football in Cork, where his teammates include Dave Barry. A player fans love to see, Liam's the gentle giant of Mayo football. Greg joins his brother Sean in the starting 15. He's the one change from the semi-final. One of the great personalities of Connacht football, Willie Joe's got courage and class. Noel is a scorer of quality and almost a permanent fixture in the Mayo number 12 shirt. The side's leading scorer and a forward who's had an excellent season. A full forward of rich experience, Jimmy wants to set the seal in his career now with a winner's medal. The former All-Star is hoping for a bumper day to help bring Sam back west of the Shannon.
So that's the Mayo line-out. Mayo with their missing injured as well. Frank Noon and John Maughan, the two who failed to make it this afternoon. Meanwhile, the Cork team up at the other end in front of Hill 16, where their fans are encamped up there. And that's from behind the end of the field there. Our camera up over Hill 16. And having seen the Mayo formation, time to check now on Cork. And here's how they'll start. We'll count down from 1 to 15.
Safe as houses might be the description most Cork fans would apply to John. Niles made a most remarkable recovery from injury which threatened to keep him out of football for a year. At 19, he's one of the youngest fullbacks ever in an All-Ireland final. Very much the character of the side, but it's no joke when you're still seeking your first All-Ireland medal. This solid and assured defender gives little away to opposing forwards. A former team captain, Connor continues to provide leadership at the back. Tony moves out from corner back to left wing, where he's equally at home. The high-flying midfielder whose aerial duel with Liam McHale should be worth watching. Shea's another one of those playing a third consecutive All-Ireland final for Cork. One of those play-anywhere players, Dave is assigned a right wing berth this afternoon. So often a match winner, but of late Larry's been hampered by a thigh injury. There's a move back into the forwards for Barry, who was man of the match against Dublin. A score poacher of the highest quality, Mayo know all about his prowess. Known to hosts of Cork fans as Dinny, he stands poised now to add Sam to the Munster and League titles. John was Cork's expert penalty taker against Dublin just 4 weeks ago.
That's the scene, and those are the personalities who make the news this afternoon. Cork still missing the influence of Coleman Corrigan, their injured full-back, while the unfortunate John O'Driscoll misses his second successive All-Ireland final, although he's listed, of course, in the 6 official subs. The Cusack stand, the Hogan stand there on the right, the Canal End occupied up at the top there of the screen by the Mayo fans. Terrific Mayo support. Both counties very well represented. Capacity crowd of 68,000 as Dennis Allen and Jimmy Brown shake hands here with the referee this afternoon, Paddy Collins from Westmeath. Paddy taking charge. And seems to be Jimmy Brown who's won it, and I think they're going to play right to left in the first half. There was a swirling enough little breeze there during part of that minor match. Looking now at Niall Cahalane, told he'd be out of football with a knee injury for a year, but his recovery in just 3 months has baffled medical expertise. And Coleman Corrigan there, his great friend, giving him the word of encouragement. There's Dave Barry, a runner-up in this year's FAI Cup final. He's hoping for a double celebration this weekend, having just reached the ripe old age of 25, or 28 rather, on Friday. Conor Coonahan, one of 7 Corkmen playing in a third consecutive All-Ireland final, and a fourth if you include last year's drawn match. Very much a natural leader on the field. There's Jimmy Kerrigan, known for his wisecrack good humour, but today the serious business at hand of winning a first All-Ireland medal in what is his 28th championship match. We're looking now at Barry Coffey, rated by many Cork people as their top performer in last month's semi-final win over Dublin, and I'm sure he's delighted to be back in the attack following 2 matches at left half back, Munster final and All-Ireland semi-final. Barry's soaking up the atmosphere, as indeed is Jimmy Brown, enjoying an excellent season. The only little blight so far for Jimmy is that he missed receiving the cup at the end of the Connacht final. He was on his way to hospital at that moment as he was concussed during the end of the match. And the president looked on the head and Inish attacked in our toe. From the floor in Ahene, Dr. on the Hayden. Got him an Dr. on Inish. Of the ceremonial, which is a more recent introduction into the All-Ireland final day in hurling and in football. Agus on Ochronish, Ochranahana, the Irin Buyoi the Sap. GAA President John Dowling introducing team captain Jimmy Brown, who'll go through his squad now. Peter Fore there, Dermot Flanagan, Smehall Collins, TJ Kilgallen as well, John Finn next to him, that's Sean Maher, and his midfield partner Liam McHale. Greg Maher there as well, and Willie Joe Fadden. Noel Durkin in the introductions, Michael Fitzmaurice, the youngster, Jimmy Berg, and finally Kevin McStay. A proud moment. Michael Greenan, one of the linesmen, Paddy Collins taking charge of his 4th All-Ireland final, and Joe Woods from the Knoll here in Dublin, his linesman. And so it's Dennis Allen's turn now to introduce his colleagues. John Kearns, Niall Cahalane, Stephen O'Brien there, Jimmy Kerrigan too, up as far as Tony Davis. It's Michael Slocum there from the St Finbarr's Club, Teddy McCarthy. And battle at midfield should be really interesting. I wonder what kind of tactics Cork are going to employ in this match. There's been the suggestion, of course, that they might try to bypass Mayo's strength, which is really down the centre with all those tall players, a diamond of tall players. And there's been the suggestion they might opt to try and play the ball down the wings at every opportunity. We'll be waiting to see what happens. So presidential introductions all out of the way, all building up the nerves, of course, as well. And as the seconds now tick down towards 3:30, about 8 minutes away, a little less than that, the team's getting ready to parade behind the magnificent Artane Boys Band in this splendid panoramic scene. Croke Park, a cauldron of noise. The parade, part of the build-up, part of an integral portion, indeed, of the rich tapestry that makes up All-Ireland final day. The fans giving vent to their emotions, warmly acclaiming both teams as the Cork team on the inside. Mayo here having the outside rail, as it were. TJ Kilgallen, left thigh heavily strapped, you'll notice. A proud moment for the two captains, for Dennis Allen, the evergreen forward, and the Mayo skipper, Jimmy Brown, regarded by many Mayo fans as their good luck captain, because whenever he captains a Mayo team, they invariably win. Both teams laced with players who've done well at underage level, but none of them so far with a senior All-Ireland football medal, although I realise that Teddy McCarthy did bring a hurling medal. So as they parade down in front of the Cusack stand, a proud moment for all these players. And Jimmy McGee, whom we'll be hearing from throughout the match. Jimmy, it's an occasion, I'm sure you'll agree, not to be missed.
Not to be missed. Marvellous occasion. I've seldom seen a better one on All-Ireland Day. Mayo expect to get a lot of ball today. They have 5 natural centre fielders in their lineup. It's what use they make of that ball that may be the issue in the destination of the sand. Cork are possibly under more pressure than Mayo. They're almost afraid to contemplate losing 3 finals in a row. This is a good Cork team with designs on greatness, but they need an All-Ireland to be thus accepted. Interesting, in the parade, as you may notice, there are 4 players wearing leg strapping. 3 of them are Mayo, and rather 3 of them are Cork: McGrath, Cahalan and Coonahan, with Greg Maher of Mayo. So the question really is, as we watch Niall Cahalan with his knee strap, how fit is Fitcher?
I agree, Niall very much the Iron Man in that Cork defence. Niall, who went to school at St. Fatna's School down in Skibbereen along with Tony Davis and John Cleary. Indeed, so many great education institutions represented in generous measure by past pupils this afternoon. Schools like Colostra Creasree down there in Turner's Cross, Diddy Allen's old school, and St. Coleman's in Claremorris. TJ Kilgallen went there, and also the Mahers. So within minutes now of the throw-in, let's take a final look then at the starting lineups. Cork, to begin with, Cork omitting John O'Driscoll, recalling Niall Cahalan to the full-back line, moving Tony Davis to wing-back, and switching Barry Coffey to left-half forward. Mayo also making their one change as they go into the huddle for final words of guidance. One change since the semi-final for them. This is the alteration. Greg Maher winning a place in the first 15. He's at number 10 with his older brother Sean in midfield, alongside the impressive and high fielding Liam McHale. Both sides, as you'll notice, going into a huddle on the far side. Cork wondering whether they can put behind the disappointment of the last 2 years. Mayo players still on this great occasion for them. So many players who make up the drama this afternoon, so many players also who have missed the action. People like Eugene Lavin, the great goalkeeper, loses out his place to Gabriel Irwin. There's John O'Mahony, whose record in 2 years speaks volumes. 2 Connacht champions back-to-back, and an All-Ireland final appearance here. He was their manager of the under-21 team in 1983 when they won an All-Ireland. So as the speculation is put to one side, the fans all around Croke Park turn to face the tricolour high above the Cusack stand. Rivalries momentarily suspended for the singing of our national anthem, Shahanish Aron Navian. It really is now the final countdown for both Mayo and Cork, the moment when dreams finally touch reality. Cork seeking to wipe out the memory of the last 2 years. Mayo showing that the West's awake, hoping to commence a new and glorious era. Paddy Collins in charge of his 4th All-Ireland final. It'll be Mayo right to left in the first half. They'll be aided by something of a breeze, not particularly strong, but a little tricky as it winds its way around, in particular down by the railway goal in front of Hill 16. Paddy Collins waiting for the band, the Artane Boys band, to make its way off. Dennis Allen down at full forward. Shea Fahy waits in midfield. Peter Ford marking Dinny Allen. Teddy McCarthy, will he be on Liam McHale or Sean Maher? The throw-in and the 101st All-Ireland Footballers final is underway. Teddy McCarthy straight away up to Dennis Allen. Receives the return, knifes his way through. Good pace. Knocks it outside to Barry Coffey. Well blocked down by Micheál Collins of Mayo. But good second phase play, however, by John Cleary. Alert to the possibilities. To Paul McGrath. Pushed, it seemed, by Dermot Flanagan. And he was near the sideline, and the referee has signalled that it was a push. It's a free in to Cork, a push by Dermot Flanagan. That's going to be a very interesting duel. Watch it once again. McGrath was quite near the sideline and pushed. Larry Tompkins, first opportunity to belt this one in. 22 points in his 3 All-Ireland finals so far, including last year's draw, in which he scored 8. Cork are in front. Larry Tompkins giving Cork a 1-point lead. Larry's 18th point of this year's championship. So Cork are 1 point ahead then, and it's Gabriel Irwin with the kick out from the 20-metre line. Sean Maher fumbling but recovering well. Intended for Michael Fitzmaurice, and it's Jimmy Kerrigan who's gone across to mark him. And they switched around, I think, and Niall Cahalan is back marking Kevin McStay as Fitzmaurice does a roaming job, watched all the way by Jimmy Kerrigan. Dennis Allen, the leader of the attack. Mick Slocum's well-directed kick inside, touched on by Barry Coffey, but into open space, and it's Dermot Flanagan seeking to emulate his father, who won All-Ireland medals in 50 and 51, to Willie Joe Padden. An important first ball dropped down, fumbled. It's Michael Slocum. Coonahan recovers. Mayo a little at sea at the moment. Teddy McCarthy. Cork, the more experienced side of this level of the championship. Shea Fahy, a hit and hope kick, and it's wide of the target. Fahy with the first wide of the afternoon. Shea has reclaimed his place in midfield following a 6 months tour of duty with the UN in the Lebanon, during which time, of course, he won a Bank of Ireland honour. Good catch again by Teddy McCarthy. In the early moments of the match, dominated by the favourites. Jimmy Brown breaks it down. Liam McHale, possession. Vital for Mayo at this stage, just to settle down the nerves a little bit, get some momentum going. It's Willie Joe Padden. Noel Durkin in a good run, diagonally across left to right, steadying himself, and wide of the target. Mayo carving out the first opening for themselves in this match in the 3rd minute of the game. Well, Durkin, one of the forwards Mayo fans certainly looking to this afternoon. Kearns kick out. Liam McHale fisting it down. Durkin once more. Hopefully hit into space, and Cork reacting quicker. That's Kerrigan. Here's Cahalan. Good shoulder, solidly in from Noel Durkin. Towards Paul McGrath. Fumbled. And a Mayo sideline ball. Dermot Flanagan. Directed in towards Willie Joe Padden, being very tightly marked by Conor Coonahan. Padden with possession, one of the great heroes of modern football. but not such a well-directed pass. Down towards Michael Fitzmaurice's corner. Jimmy Kerrigan is there too. Stephen O'Brien, the one who gets it away finally. Greg Maher in a chase over there with Shea Fahy. Comes up towards John Cleary, and a push from behind on Cleary, and another free. Free to Cork. John Cleary attempting to gain possession over in front of the Cusack stand. Received a gentle little nudge. Watch it once again as the ball was fed forward from Shea Fahy. And Cleary coming up at the other end. We don't quite see it there. Here's Dermot Flanagan. Jimmy Brown here. Fitzmaurice. Burke is beaten for it by Stephen O'Brien. Kerrigan. Cork building. In measured fashion from the back. Dermot Flanagan, good safe catch. Setting up Jimmy Brown. Likes to attack. This is Liam McHale. Can he deliver the goods this afternoon? Coonahan. Misdirected pass. Well read by Coonahan. Picked up by Micheál Collins on the Cork 65-metre line. Willie Joe Padden, left-footed across towards Michael Fitzmaurice. It sails over his head towards Jimmy Burke. Hoping to get a little bit of leeway against the young full-back, Sean Maher. Into Greg Maher, his brother. A right-footed shot. Comes down off the post into the waiting arms of Mick Slocum. Mayo unlucky. Coonahan. Midfield not as congested as one might have been expecting, and it's Sean Maher who wins it. He was jostled around there by Dave Barry. The referee has whistled back the play in any case for a free for Mayo. Sean Maher there from Clare Morris, playing his club football now, as you'll notice, in St Finbar's in Cork. I'm sure they'll be calling him Sean Maher very shortly. Solidly caught under pressure there. Stephen O'Brien swinging it out to Teddy McCarthy and inside to Mick Slocum. Once again, Cork with that careful build-up, and it's Niall Cahalane on a solo run, way up from his right corner forward position. The player they've said wouldn't play for a year. Referee allows him an advantage. Paul McGrath. Here's Tompkins steadying himself. Right-footed, it's curling. It's gone over. Both points of the match credited to Larry Tompkins. That's the first from play. Tompkins playing on the 40 this afternoon, and the fans up there on Hill 16 jubilant just now. Again, the kick out intended for Willie Joe Padden. He gets it, getting there ahead of Conor Coonahan. So vital to Mayo's hopes. This is Jimmy Burke. A low one inside, and Kearns nurses it all the way, as Liam McHale was the last one up there with the forwards. Willie Joe Padden, centre half forward, and one of the most popular of players, affectionately known everywhere simply as Willie Joe. Kearns kick, intended for Barry Coffey, picked up by Tony Davis. Getting the return. Greg Maher back there, putting in a defence. From Dennis Allen to Larry Tompkins. And a third point. Tompkins, Cork scorer of all 3 points so far. And he's starting in very convincing fashion indeed. TJ Kilgallen, his marker, has the left leg strapped, as we noticed in the parade, and I wonder if it's going to hamper his mobility somewhat. Here's Dave Barry, trying to go around John Finn, looking for support, holding it up. A little flick across to John Cleary, getting there, nice sidestep, good turn of the hips, an incisive run, and John Cleary has scored. Cork have opened up a 4-point lead, and there are only 8.5 minutes gone in this All-Ireland football final. Cleary certainly has a spring in his step over there, one notices. There was speculation that his position on the team might not be as secure as it seemed earlier on in the season. He certainly is out to prove that he can do a real good job. Mayo still to score then, Liam McKay. off balance. Linesman has the flag raised over there. That's Joe Woods. Billy Morgan there, the Cork manager in the background. Really is an expert coach with a very sound judgment. Micheál Collins. Willie Joe Padden, superb! Now can they finish? Under pressure. Oh, that's a mighty one from Willie Joe Padden, and Mayo are off the mark. The second fine catch he's made in the match, and it finally produces a score for Mayo. So 4 points to 1. That was a most difficult point to engineer from Willie Joe's point of view. Very much a solo effort. This was the catch, superbly taken down. Now look at the number of players around him, 3, and he still managed to get in a kick and slot it over the crossbar. So with players like Willie Joe Padden now providing the leadership and the bit of inspiration needed in the attack, can Mayo turn around this current position, which sees them 3 points behind? Jimmy Burke. Stephen O'Brien going back, solidly covering. Niall Cahalane. Taking it right across the face of the goal. Kerrigan to Davis. The dodge and going by Sean Maher. What great pace being shown up towards Dennis Allen. Getting there ahead of Peter Ford. Into Davis once again. He's doing superbly. That was intended for Teddy McCarthy. May come his way just yet, but finally outnumbered. And it's Dermot Flanagan with a good little chip away outside to Greg Maher. Mayo not belting the ball just anywhere, but trying to find their men with good football. This is Jimmy Burke. This is Michael Fitzmaurice. An enterprising move which started right at the back. Fitzmaurice. Oh, it comes down off the post. It's the second time that Mayo has been denied by the upright. Greg Maher initially, and now Michael Fitzmaurice, and it's still 4 points to 1, Jimmy McGee.
Yes, this could be the story of two centre-half forwards. Larry Tompkins has kicked 3 marvellous points, and Willie Joe Padden, who caught one great ball and scored a point of it. The two centre-half backs may have questions asked about them. One thing I'd be worried about at Mayo, Cahalane on 2 or 3 occasions has been allowed from right full back to solo 50-60 yards without a challenge.
Barry Coffey here, and so far the forwards doing very well on both sides. Dermot Flanagan has put his defence in trouble with a backward sideline ball, and Paul McGrath, his man, with possession. Back to Teddy McCarthy outside the 20-metre line. Dodging inside, and the error is penalised because it comes off the post. But Cork's luck would seem to be in where the upright's concerned. It's gone over. Teddy's first point, Cork's 5th. And that all came from a sideline ball where Dermot Flanagan was attempting to link up with some of his fellow defenders. So the nerve's been demonstrated by some of the Mayo lads playing in their first final, remember, and it's a nerve-wracking occasion. 45 metres out, and Paul McGrath is grounded. Larry Tompkins already poised, ready to take the free. Teddy McCarthy takes it instead, across towards Barry Coffey. Coffey fouling his man. And that was Micheál Collins. Again, the quick free taken by Jimmy Brown, with fumble by McHale. TJ Kilgallen. Mayo needing another few scores now, and in particular in defence, one feels that they really need to get the ball out a bit faster and take the pressure off themselves, as clearly committed that foul. Cork didn't go back fast enough, penalised 10 metres, and Jimmy Brown takes it. Here's the other Jimmy, Burke, challenging Niall Cahalane. Cahalane nudged in the back, picks up a head injury as well. Getting a little jittery right now, Niall Cahalane. Not all that terribly comfortable, as you'll gather. Mick Slocum is the one who's going to take the kick. He's the only one of the Cork team, incidentally, playing in his first All-Ireland senior final. All the others played in either last year's final or the previous years. That's McHale down to Noel Durkin. He's got some leeway. Players in support as well. Still Durkin, free. And a scoreable opportunity for Mayo and for Michael Fitzmaurice. A good run forward by Noel Durkin. The backs were looking on to their men and nobody ready to put in a challenge. So Michael Fitzmaurice, a young talent whose career has been expertly managed and nurtured through patience and expert guidance. Can this be a second point for Mayo? It certainly is. He's brought free-taking to a fine state-of-the-art. That's his first this afternoon. Mayo fans then up there on the canal end, tightly packed in there. Superb Mayo support here all over Dublin this weekend. John Kearns. 3 points the margin. Most of his kickouts so far, incidentally, have been targeted across towards Barry Coppy's wing, and they're keeping it out of midfield, where, of course, Liam McHale and Sean Maher might well have held sway. Collins, read by Slocum. They can't pick it up. It's Greg Maher. Mayo trying to settle down a bit now, rid themselves of the nerves. That's Greg Maher inside, and Niall Cahalane is the one who gets there first. Swings it out towards Paul McGrath, playing in the centre right now. Dermot Flanagan has followed. Teddy McCarthy, loose. Up towards Dennis Allen. Peter Ford having difficulty. Paul McGrath. It'll suit a right-footed kicker, but it's dropped short. Irwin picking up the totally unmarked Greg Maher. Greg playing in his second championship match. Jimmy Brown. Again, it's Brown. Good run forward, and there's support from TJ Kilgallen. Again he opts to carry. Chipping it forward to Willie Joe Padden, drifting away to the right. Coonahan follows. Trying to cut inside. Left-footed inside towards Kevin McStay. McStay and Cahalane. Kevin McStay. And yes, a point! A point for Kevin McStay. And that will do his confidence an awful lot of good. It also boosts the prospects for a really good match. The boot went out there. I thought that might well have been a free in. This is Max. If the referee allowed an advantage there, he did well from Mayo's point of view, as it's back now to 5 points to 3. Kearns into midfield on this occasion. Coonahan towards John Cleary. Jimmy Brown's over there on the 45-metre line, and the referee saw that the ball was touched on the ground. Free into Cork, Jimmy.
Yes, Cork have looked sharper, more cohesive and inventive, and their use of the extra man is splendid. On individual displays, what a performance again by Niall Cahalane. Just back his first big match. And here's a man who's got 3 points. Is he about to afford you?
Larry, one of Cork's newest publicans, on the 45 metres. It's wide of the target. Cork's second wide. So both sides now having 2 wides each. And in the scoring stakes, it's Cork 5 points, Mayo 3. And a check on the time, 18 minutes gone in the first half. Teddy McCarthy overreaching himself. Dave Barry alert. And the referee saw a punch challenge that time from Sean Maher. Quick free taken to Michael Slocum. Certainly the opening 18 minutes has been very enjoyable football, and this is Slocum. Trying to dodge around Sean Maher. Still Slocum, their clubmates as of the last couple of weeks. Barry Coffey, good catch. Trying to find up John Cleary, links up well. Tompkins getting around John Finn's challenge, and it's over the bar. Larry Tompkins has kicked his 4th point. So a wonderful piece of scoring by Larry Tompkins. 3 points the margin, and that's the amount of time there in the top right-hand corner of the screens, the time left in the first half. Greg Maher Tony Davis over there. The referee didn't like the nature of the challenge. It's going to be a free to Cork.
Got to say this again, the Mayo half forwards and or corner forwards will have to come with their immediate opponent, because with Cahalan and Slocum coming forward regularly and Davis on the other side, Cork are having the extra man much too often for Mayo's comfort.
Right now the extra man is Peter Ford. Opportunity to set up this attack right from the back, involving PJ Kilgallen and Jimmy Brown. Jimmy Burke, possession for once for the 33-year-old, laying it outside to Durkin. A forward of real talent, blocked down however by Conor Coonahan. Never looks the paciest of defenders, but he's so effective. Kerrigan, over-ambitious with the hand pass to Stephen O'Brien, and it's Durkin once again, proving one of Mayo's top forwards this afternoon. Peter Ford, and an aimless effort there by Peter Ford, I'm afraid. Well directing his point attempt. Peter, who was runner-up in the Irish light heavyweight boxing championships earlier this year, hoping to prove a winner on this particular occasion. John Kearns, again opting to try and find somebody across on that left wing. This time it's Tony Davis. Kerrigan reading it well, but running into a stern and solid challenge from Liam McHale. Davis goes back, puts in a challenge on McHale as he was trying to make up his mind who to play it to. Stephen O'Brien, Niall Cahalan feeding it forward to the waiting Shea Fahy, 45 metres from his own goal. Up towards Paul McGrath, who hasn't played as a winger at all, but in front of the front two, as it were. Here's John Finn. Jimmy Burke ran into space, read it well, as it was dropping over the head of Michael Fitzmaurice. Can he get the better of Stephen O'Brien? This is Fitzmaurice. The left footer getting it into Kevin McStay. Was he pushed? Yes, but it's outside the large parallelogram, and it's going to be a free from the 13-metre line. McStay was clearly pushed in the back, but about a yard outside the large parallelogram, near to being a penalty. There's the push. Kevin McStay, who's been very frank about his own performance in the championship so far, but that point that he scored earlier on was one of the best scores in the match. Stephen O'Brien there being attended by Paddy Collins, attention being called for, Billy Morgan being called in, and also the team's medical officer, who is Con Murphy.
Looking at Stephen O'Brien there is Conor Coonahan. He is a new man to face now. Mayo have made a significant change. Liam McHale has gone to centre half forward, and Willie Joe Patton has come to midfield. McHale has been doing his best to play through what for him is supposed to be a very nervous opening period of the game, battling through the butterflies, I should think, although he may confirm that himself later on. He's gone to centre half forward, and his ability on the ball and his vision as a basketball player may be telling from there. Willie Joe's gone midfield, no doubt about his fielding ability. He's directly opposite Shea Fahy. Meantime, back to Michael Fitzmaurice and a chance to bring the game to 6 points to 4.
So will he get his second point? Stephen O'Brien being attended to for that nose injury. He slotted it over Fitzmaurice, and so it is indeed 6 points to 4. Meanwhile, Cork down to 14 men just now. Tony Davis has been brought back at full-back. Stephen O'Brien still being attended to behind the goal, away to our left. The Mayo fans up there on the canal end, hoping that this will be the day their side makes history. John Kearns belting it towards midfield. Willie Joe Patton and Sean Maher. The referee has whistled, and he spotted some pushing there by Willie Joe Patton as he was going up to fetch that one. Great strength and height in that Mayo midfield. Teddy McCarthy quickly on to Dave Barry, trying to get around John Finn, 45 metres out from goal, holding it up. Flanking it across towards Barry Coffey, who keeps on drifting into a left corner forward position. Coffey still angling for the shot, dropping it short, and again it's Gabriel Irwin. Really hasn't put a foot wrong since coming into the Mayo colours for the match there against Roscommon. McHale, nice ball outside to Jimmy Burke. Mayo looking purposeful. This is Greg Maher. Oh, tripped as he was going through. Wow, that really was a very unfortunate piece of play from Mayo's point of view. that were clearly true. Greg Maher might well have got a goal. And it's interesting to see what action the referee takes against Tony Davis. No booking. So Michael Fitzmaurice, from slightly to the right of the posts, can put just the bare minimum between the teams. He's got 2 so far. Again, it suits a left-footed kicker. The Mayo fans saluting another point, and it's now 6 points to 5. Beautifully poised, and 25 minutes gone in the first half, which means we've just got about 10 before the interval. John Kearns, who saw his team open up a good 4-5 point gap at one stage, has been now whittled back to just 1. John Finn, Larry Tompkins, trying to get the forwards moving again inside. And this is Kevin McStay. This is Mayo's best spell in the match so far. They really feel they can do well, I think, in this game. Michael Fitzmaurice, such a great minor. Played here in 85 to Kevin McStay, across towards Jimmy Burke. Slack marking, breaks down to Greg Maher, comes off Tony Davis. It goes for the game's first 45. Greg Maher with that stinging shot, might well have thought it was on target, but Davis got in there, came off his leg. A lot of people thought that Greg Maher might well play as an additional midfielder. He was also attached to that Mayo 85 minor team, beat Cork that day. Indeed, that Mayo midfield was interesting. Fitzmaurice was there, so was Greg Maher and John O'Driscoll of Cork. So waiting inside, the 2 number 9s. Fitzmaurice from 45 metres, bidding to tie up the scores, drops it short. Kearns gathering securely, feeding it to Stephen O'Brien, now back with the action. Niall Cahalane. With Slocum. Jimmy Burke back there, putting in a challenge. The Mayo forwards, once they got rid of their nerves, have done well, working tirelessly, aiding their midfield by coming back and getting in front of the Cork forwards, trying to make it difficult for the onrushing Cork men. Look where Willie Joe Padden is, back around centre half back. Liam McHale getting some leeway. Fitzmaurice really coming into his stride just now. That comes off Conor Coonahan. A really competitive match, full of intensity. This is McStay, that's McHale, and it's the umpires consulted. It's wide. The umpires had a quick consultation about that one. I think initially the smile there on McHale's face. This is it once again. The umpire on the right, it seemed to me, thought initially it was wide, but he had a quick consultation with the other umpire. Yes, it was wide. So Cork still just hanging on by a solitary point. Coffey, an enterprising ball forward towards John Cleary. Cork made the more impressive start, but Mayo have clawed their way back into this fixture, and it's turning out to be an invigorating All-Ireland football final. Coonahan into space to Dennis Allen, towards Paul McGrath, 20 metres out, beating Flanagan to it. It drops down and it's over. The first point of the match for Paul McGrath, edging Cork into a 2-point lead with that amount of time remaining in the first half. Paul McGrath, player who demonstrated his clinical finishing in that game against Dublin. One superb point. Gabriel Irwin's kick out. Not such a well-struck one. Dave Barry picking it up. Good menacing run by Dave Barry. The outside of the boot again, and it curls in, and that's gone over as well. His first point. 4 of the 6 forwards now for Cork have scored in this match. 3 of the Mayo forwards have scored. There's a lot of lovely control about the way that one went over from Dave Barry, and I'm sure the Cork fans really enjoyed seeing it sailing over the crossbar. Shea Fahy struggling against Willie Joe Padden. McHale, elusive as always. Another good run by Liam McHale. Held up and released to Greg Maher. Outside there with Tony Davis. Jimmy Burke, playing one of the best matches he's played in the championship so far. Micheál Collins. Well, a real hit and hope one, but the referee saw a late foul out there. It was against one of the Cork defenders, possibly Conor Coonahan, as Micheál Collins was kicking it. There was some protest from the Cork backs, so it's now a much more favourable kick, and Michael Fitzmaurice will be the one who'll take it in just a moment.
Good refereeing there. The referee, Paddy Collins, waited to see what advantage, if any, would ensue. See would Michael Collins score. He had a go, he didn't, and Collins wisely brought it back and give the free. Now that is sensible refereeing.
A seesawing match so far. Cork having raced into a 4-point lead earlier on, pegged back to just one, have opened up a 3-point gap again, and now Mayo, 5 minutes before half-time, can bring it back to 2. That's the position, thanks to the assured kicking of the place ball there by Michael Fitzmaurice. All his 4 points have come from frees. Fitzmaurice and Larry Tompkins, the 2 leading scorers in this final. So once again, John Kearns seeing his options. Again, it's towards that left half forward spot. Barry Coffey beaten on this occasion, and Mayo, I think, have sealed that particular gap. Michael Slocum adding to it there. It's with Kevin McStay. A well-struck left-footed shot by McStay, and again there's just a point difference between the teams. McStay with a second fine point. One of the best championship matches that he's played in so far. An all-star following the 85 season. Then he broke a leg. Meanwhile, it's Jimmy Burke who's down injured, in need of attention on Cork's 45-metre line. And the players are telling the medical people to come across as quick as possible. Frank Davey, the medical officer there of the Mayo team, John O'Mahony there as well to attend to the full forward.
I hope Jimmy recovers and continues in the game, because here's a man today who's making his critics eat their words. He's been an ideal leader of the Mayo attack, very good pivot, taken up very good positions, good work off the ball, and he's made the Cork defence think a lot. Jimmy Burke has obviously shed a bit of weight for this most important day in his football career, and he really has played well. People say that he mightn't have been the star of this forward line. Goodness, today he's, as I say, making them eat their words. But this looks a lot more serious than at first we thought. I hope not, Joe.
Indeed, yes. So Anthony Finnerty is being warmed up, I can tell you, and it may well be that Jimmy Burke will not play any further part in this All-Ireland football final. This is the action once again, and there's Jimmy Burke colliding with Michael Slocum as he was going down, stumbling that time. It was an accident, no question about that. So rather sadly, the stretcher is out, and it's Anthony Finnerty who scored 2 goals and 2 points in this year's championship so far. All his scores coming in the Connacht Championship. He'll be coming in for his 10th championship match for Mayo. So the clock is stopped. It gives us an opportunity to say hello to some people watching this match in so many parts of the world this afternoon. But let's start here in Ireland. Michael Nestor, a Mayo fan, watching it in hospital. Finbar O'Brien, a Cork fan, also in hospital. And we hope that people watching this match in hospitals everywhere are fully enjoying it. And speaking of hospitals, I hope Jimmy Burke isn't destined for somewhere right now, but there's a huge ovation as he makes his way off, and Anthony Finnerty is the one who comes on. So Finnerty comes in and joins the attack. He goes straight in at full forward. So John Kearns playing in his 20th championship match this afternoon. So the referee will add some time on, I'm sure, for that delay. Here's Larry Tompkins. Barry Coffey with a neat pick-up. Mayo with 4 men there, but it's still is a Cork man in possession. Dave Barry, and Dave Barry has got a second point, opening up a 2-point gap once again. Cork 9 points, Mayo 7. But overall, I think fans of both counties, Cork and Mayo, will feel pleased with the first half. Mayo seemed a bundle of nerves earlier on, but they really have justified their place in this final with some good football. Free in the middle of the field for a foul on Shea Fahy. We were mentioning people watching this match, I believe, down in Australia. You too are watching it in Perth. Good afternoon or good morning to you. I've been asked to say hello to Maureen and Peter McAvoy, also down there in Australia. Tompkins, 4 points so far. Kicking into the breeze towards Barry Coffey. Micheál Collins is there too, and John Finn towards Noel Durkin. Body sliding in there, but it's a Mayo man with possession. A very stylish Sean Maher. Noel Durkin towards Kevin McStay, there with Niall Cahalane. It came down from Cahalane to Anthony Finnerty. First touch, miscuing his intentions, however, with Kevin McStay, but TJ Kilgallen, who's played quite a bit of his football at midfielder in the forwards, is up there. Greg Maher breaks it down. Liam McHale trying to get the ball up into his hands with Shea Fahy, and tigerishly taking it out of that ruck of players. And it's all played in a fairly good humour, I think, down there. Tension certainly, but a very sporting contest. Two Mayo players, and the solo wasn't all it might have been because it allowed Durkin to gain possession, and now it's with Dermot Flanagan into the stride of Willie Joe Patton. Saw that his immediate colleague forward was marked, but this is Finnerty, a player who wants to show his pace, prove himself as well, and it comes off Conor Coonahan for another 45. A good piece of defending following a good burst forward by Anthony Finnerty. So Finnerty remains down there, and we're now into injury time for the injuries to some of the players in the first half, but Jimmy Burke in particular forced off. So Michael Fitzmaurice with the game well into injury time, a minute and a half on my watch, having elapsed so far. 2 points the difference, 9 points to 7. Cork the leaders. Will he opt to drop it in? He'll realise that there isn't too much time left in the first half. He's gone for a point, and he's got it! A fine kick from Michael Fitzmaurice, his 5th of the match. They've all come from frees, they've all been critical. He's the game's leading scorer, and now it's so delicately poised, very near to half-time. The people who said it was going to be an easy win for Cork, forget all about it. Mayo meant business. Mayo bidding to win the title for the first time in 38 years. It's 16 years since Cork last won it, 1973. Willie Joe Patton back there, but it's Dave Barry getting the break of the ball outside the Mayo 45-metre line. Paul McGrath's in there, ahead of Dermot Flanagan. On his left, and it's over the bar. Lovely style, clinical finishing from Paul McGrath, his second point. Cork opening up a 2-point advantage once more. That kick coming 3 minutes into injury time at the end of the first half. Greg Maher, once again, high fielding. Micheál Collins, rather. It's Liam McHale. Liam McHale still following up over there, but the ball held up, and it's Slocum who gets the boot to it. A sideline ball to Mayo. And still the referee allowing time for the injury there, in particular to Jimmy Burke. Kerrigan waiting inside, marking Liam McHale as Fitzmaurice takes the sideline kick. Another well-directed one across towards the tall men, and it's Finnerty who gets it. McHale holding it up inside towards Micheál Collins, but really it was a giveaway of possession, and the referee says let's have the ball in any case. The final piece of action at the end of what has been a very good first half. The fans, 68,000 at Croke Park, thoroughly enjoying it. Cork the leaders by 2 points. Half-time score, Cork 10 points, Mayo 8.
Chair Canning referred there to the sporting nature of the game. Gaelic football has needed an open, skillful game. You could nearly have played this one without a referee. Well, almost. I'm very impressed with the performance of Dave Barry. His class manifesting itself in his economy of movement, both as a taker and a maker of scores. Mayo making mockery of the 3-1 starting price. At half-time, just 2 points between them in a good, open, skillful game of Gaelic football.
Yes, indeed. We were wondering what kind of a fist Mayo would make of this year's All-Ireland final. Now we know. It's going to be one heck of a second half. You can see it here on RTE after this break.
Knowing that their money is so safe and it's always growing. What can Bank of Ireland do for you? Ooh, we can help make things better. There's a bank always near. We can do it together. That's why we're here. Now what can Bank of Ireland do for you? Now what can we do for you?
Pocari is a deeply refreshing drink that helps put back what exercise takes out. It's isotonic, so it gets into the bloodstream fast, delaying fatigue and extending stamina. Pocari. Longer, further, faster.
Mark, the road to success, that's the Mayo football team, and behind the Mayo team, NCF Co-op. The name that stands for quality dairy and meat products. The Mayo football team and NCF Co-op, a winning combination.
The best thing in my life? Meet the future captain of United. Come here, Maradona. The next best thing, the team bus. Changing rooms and manager's office, all rolled into one.
The brand new 5-door Fiesta, now more spacious than ever. We think it's the best little car in the world. Could it be the next best thing in your life?
Every dad should have his golden moments. There's something special about the Cadbury taste. Something that makes it different. A glass and a half of full cream Irish milk in every half-pound. And you can taste that difference in every bar. The choice is yours. The taste is Cadbury's.
Visit Dominic Kelly's Family Butchers, Newport, for Connacht Champion sausage and black pudding.
Be a winner with Morahan and Hughes, the bathroom specialists. Tuam Road, Galway. Win, lose or draw, you'll always score with great value at McGreevy's Westport.
Best wishes from the Co-op shops, main sponsors of the Cork football team.
For prompt delivery of quality cattle slats and ready mix, contact Lacquer Concrete, Galway.
One All-Ireland title has already been decided here at Croke Park this afternoon. That's the minor title. It went north with Derry. They beat Offaly in a score of 3-9 to 1-6. But what about the senior title? Well, that's another issue altogether, because that one is far from decided, as I'm sure my panellists of Mick O'Dwyer and Sean Boylan would agree, Sean.
Far from decided is right, Michael. I tell you, Mayo aren't half putting it up to Cork. And when you think of the couple of balls that came off the upright as well, if they went over the bar, you'd have had a draw match at this stage. Certainly Mayo are putting up a tremendous fight, and they're not in any way intimidated by Cork or by Cork's experience.
Mind you, Mick, for the first 10 minutes, I thought that Mayo were going to be absolutely trundled over in this match because they really looked kitten nervous.
In the very start of the game there, Cork were really playing great football. Larry Tompkins was outstanding. Then Mayo came right into the game. Jimmy Burke, who I have criticised quite a lot over the season, I can tell you, as a full forward, I think has made me eat my words right through the second half. There for 20 minutes he was really outstanding, and it's hard luck on Mayo that he had to go off on this occasion. He was playing exceptionally well. Now Mayo, as far as I can see, they're winning possession around the middle of the field. I can see them doing reasonably well in the second half, but what's amazing me, when Mayo seem to have the initiative, you know, they seem to be playing well, but Cork can always come back and get a score just as Mayo get one, you know. And I think that's the sign of a team that's going to win, you know. Mayo, they get a score, Cork come back and they get another one. They're keeping their nose in front all the time. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting second half, there's no doubt about it. But I think Cork will just about pip them in the end.
OK, Mick, now just a word on Jimmy Burke. In actual fact, what happened to him was he cut his tongue during that first half. I'm sure, though, if Mayo win this All-Ireland, Jimmy will still be able to sing later on tonight. OK, down on the pitch, Johnny Carroll is entertaining the crowd, so let's join that entertainment. Johnny Carroll, a man from the west of Ireland himself, and I think the Mayo people enjoyed that. Well, we saw one poster there, or one banner, which said, "Nothing will stop Willie Joe." And Mick O'Dwyer, Willie Joe Padden, one of the great heroes of the Mayo team, and he certainly responded there in the first half with a great score.
Well, that first point he got there was a really out of the textbook. Went up high. Here comes the free ride, you know, and there he goes, straight into the air. Wonderful determination here, and he turns and drives it straight over the bar. A great score, yeah. Typical of Willie Joe Padden, I suppose, you know, the determination which he showed. But I'll tell you one thing about it. That type of determination is showing throughout the Mayo team in the last 15 minutes. And I'll tell you, if they can keep it going, they're going to be very hard to beat. What do you think, Sean?
I would say so, Michael. Yeah. They're really taking on the game, starting right back with, you know, Dermot Flanagan, back corner back, he's having a tremendous game. Nick Collins, he's doing exceptionally well on Barry Coffey, who's been a terrific danger man for Cork. They're centred of the field. Noel Durkin, of course, he works and works in the half-forward line. And he's upsetting Cork because he's going at them. Michael Morris is putting over the freeze when they go at them, and Cork seem to foul. And Kevin McStay has, because he had a very bad start on Niall Cahalan, he's really come right into it, hasn't he?
He kicked a few very, very good
Super
scores,
point.
actually. Very, very well for Cork. So it's going to make a very intriguing game.
Okay, gentlemen, the teams are coming back out into the field. The final word, Mick. Can Mayo do it? Is it going to be Cork?
Well, it's going to be pretty close, but I think Cork are just about going to get there.
Sean?
I'd have to go along with because they seem to be able to pick out those points, but the determination of Mayo is something else.
Well, Cork are 2 points ahead on the field. They're 2 points ahead of the panel as well, but it doesn't always work out that way. Let's see what happens in the second half then, as we rejoin our commentator, Joe Canny.
As Dennis Allen makes his way back out, Mayo out already. Cork this afternoon, appearing in their 17th final. Only 4 wins so far, and one of those, of course, in the last century. One of the remarkable stories, really, in the history of the GAA, in the 100th finals we've had in football so far. Between the two of them, Cork and Mayo, just 7 All-Ireland wins. Can we explain to any of our viewers outside of Ireland who are not particularly au fait with the rules of Gaelic football, a goal is worth 3 points, or 3 over the bars equals 1 goal. We haven't had a goal so far in this year's final. Will we have one in the second half? Half-time, 2 points between the teams, and it's going to be Cork who will play right to left in the second half, aided by something of a breeze, as Jimmy McGee has been checking out the situation about switches.
Don't see any. The teams will commence the second half as they finish the first. Don't forget Finnerty in the Mayo team, but there are positional changes. Greg Maher has gone full forward on Stephen O'Brien. Now that could be very significant. Finnerty's gone right corner forward on Jimmy Kerry, but Greg Maher, the new boy, has gone full forward. He's a high fielder and he could be a trouble spot there. McHale on the 40, so 2 big men and high fielders there for Mayo.
Confirmation of the score at the start of this second half. Sean Maher feeding it forward towards his brother Greg. Drops into the waiting arms, however, of Stephen O'Brien outside towards Tony Davis. Left-footed forward towards John Cleary. Can't quite hold on to it. It's Willie Joe Padden. Up towards Anthony Finnerty. It breaks down into the waiting arms again of Stephen O'Brien. Held as he was trying to make that move out of defence. Kerrigan swiftly forward. Shea Fahy. Dave Barry over there challenging with John Finn. It runs on towards Paul McGrath. McGrath with 2 fine points in the first half. Left-footed inside towards John Cleary. Back to Dave Barry. And wide of the target. The wide situation is rather interesting. Cork with just 3 wides so far in the game. That clearly the first of the second half. Mayo with just 4 wides. And looking through the spread of scores, Cork 10 points to date. Just one of those coming from a free from Larry Tompkins. And of Mayo's 8 points, 5 have come from frees from Michael Fitzmaurice. Here's Tompkins once more. And attempting to do a Dave Barry with the outside of the boot, but it just doesn't come off. Dave, or Larry Tompkins rather, just concerned there, I think, about that left leg. So 2 points the margin. Shea Fahy fouling on one of the Mayo midfielders, free to Mayo. Mayo this afternoon appearing in their 8th All-Ireland final, just 3 wins so far. Here's Tony Davis. Fahy. It's again the slow and rather deliberate build-up. Kerrigan keeping it moving. Nicely inside to Davis. Fitzmaurice is given chase, trying to get goal side. And Cork have now kicked 3 wides in succession. And we've just got 2 minutes gone in the second half. Cork fans will be a little disheartened. Davis, one of the fittest players in action this afternoon. Gabriel Irwin appearing in his 4th championship match, taking the kick out. Willie Joe Padden, one-handed, magnificent, he held on to it superbly. And the referee, seeing that there was a push there on Willie Joe Padden. TJ Kilgallen, meanwhile, kicked into space. Teddy McCarthy trying to read it, but it's Liam McHale getting there first. Inside towards Anthony Finnerty, and it's Noel Durkin. This is Finnerty. That's a goal! Mayo go in front for the first time in the match. A goal by Anthony Finnerty with their first attack of the second half. The Mayo fans perhaps scenting a victory. This is the move, and Noel Durkin was instrumental in getting there ahead of Jimmy Kerrigan and Vic Slocum. The release outside, and that was a super finish by Anthony Finnerty, his 3rd goal in the championship.
Oh, marvellous goal. Lee McHale made it with his fetch on the far side. Good thoughtful work by Durkin and a brilliant finish.
So Mayo now, with their tails up considerably, confidence boosted, 4 points behind at one stage early in the first half, now 1 point ahead, as that goal was worth 3 points. And the linesman, as Greg Maher advanced down the right side, has his flag raised and the ball was out of play. Joe Woods from the Knoll in County Dublin, judging that the whole of the ball had gone out over the sideline, so it wouldn't have counted. Jimmy Kerrigan taking the sideline ball quickly, and Paddy Collins with a big broad smile on his face saying, hang on you rascal, you can't do that. It's a sideline ball instead for Mayo. The Mayo fans now really soaking up the atmosphere in this cauldron of noise which is Croke Park this afternoon. Max Stay steadying himself. Mayo wondering whether they can bridge nearly 4 decades, 38 years since their last victory. Max Stay, his side a point ahead early in the second half, kicking it in. It's stopped by Shea Fahy. Tigerishly taking it out. There was an interception from Noel Durkin, but it runs favourably for Cork, and kindly onto Barry Coffey, blocked down by superb play by Max Stay again. Willie Joe Padden advancing menacingly 40 metres outside the goal. Anthony Finnerty trying to swing this right boot to it, and the referee says play on. A favourable position for Finnerty, but he spurns what was a good opening. That was a splendid opportunity, really. Well, he was unable to turn that kind of intent that you could see on the face into the score they so vitally needed. Just 6 minutes into the second half, and that goal has electrified Croke Park. Sean Maher, Mayo really putting it up to the favourites. High and wide again. Mayo's second wide in the second half. 6 in all now. Teddy McCarthy. And the referee saw that McCarthy was fouled indeed by Noel Durkin way back there on the Cork right half back line. This Cork team this afternoon, incidentally, bidding to go into the record books with the likes of Galway, losing 3 finals in succession. This is the run by Teddy McCarthy, and there's the pull down by Noel Durkin. Cork hurlers at one stage in the 80s lost 2 finals but came back. Now can the footballers do likewise? Conversely, can Mayo stay in front? Here's Tompkins, flicking it outside to Cleary, having to come well back into midfield to get leeway, however. That's Barry Coffey, secure catch, but the chase back by Max Stay, running a good 40 metres back again to harry his opponent. Sean Maher, clean catch at the centre of the defence, but then a rather aimless clearance away on that left-hand side, giving possession back to Cork. Superb intenseness there, you can see from so many of the fans. Teddy McCarthy trying now to come into this match a little bit more, and it's Conor Coonahan into space nicely to Dave Barry. Remember, a point between the teams. Dave Barry, and it's the equaliser from Dave Barry with his third point of the match. First of the second half, sides level. On 3 occasions there's been just a point between the teams, and John O'Mahony there, the team manager, who's done so well to take his side to this All-Ireland final, out on the edge there with some words of guidance for his midfielders. Cork, I can tell you, are getting ready to make a substitution on the far side. John O'Driscoll will be coming in very soon. It's an hour of peril for Cork right now. Paul McGrath swinging it across to John Cleary, sides tied up. Cleary trying to put Cork back in front again, recovering. From an awkward angle, he's put it over the bar. His second point, and Cork are now back in front as they were at half-time. They were behind for just 5 minutes. This is the pickup again by John Cleary, 13 metres out, and Jimmy Brown was just unable to get tight enough on the Castlehaven man to prevent him swinging over the point. So Cork a point to the good, and it's Slocum outside towards John Cleary, the last point scorer, holding Jimmy Brown, I thought, and the referee, yes, spots it, and it's going to be a free to Mayo. And right now it's John O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll coming in, his 14th championship match. And there's a huge cheer from the Cork fans who were disappointed when he was omitted in the first place, but he was in hospital for 10 days, and that really restricted his training over the last couple of weeks. And I think it's Barry Coffey who may well be the one who's going.
One of the best fielders in the game, Barry Coffey, looks to be making way for another great fielder, John O'Driscoll. Mayo shut down the avenue to Coffey superbly well. Mayo did their homework.
Cork doing the grafting right now at midfield with Larry Tompkins. Fouled in possession, 65 metres out from the Cork goal. Remember, there's something of a breeze, not a particularly influential one, but a breeze nonetheless behind them in the second half. It's blowing over Dave Barry's right shoulder as he advanced down there with Michael Slocum, clubmates. And well wide of the target by Dave Barry. I'm not quite sure what he was intending to do there. I don't know if it was an attempt for a point or an attempt to bring in the left corner forward into the action. But remember, just a point separating the sides 10 minutes into the second half. Oh, a poor kick out by Gabriel Irwin. It led to a point in the first half. This time Mayo recover. Dermot Flanagan out to John Finn. Mayo will want to see him involved in the action a bit more. A slack clearance comes straight to Teddy McCarthy, alive and alert at all times. Down into the path there of John Cleary, pursued all the way by Jimmy Brown. The Mayo captain bidding to prevent Cork advancing. It's McCarthy again who initiated that move. Well stopped, however, by Gabriel Irwin. Neither goalkeeper severely tested other than that goal that Mayo scored 4 minutes into the second half. Durkin into Anthony Finnerty, who took his eye off it, and that will favour Cork.
One thing Mayo might consider, they should change the kicker for those kicks out, because that's 3 times in the game Irwin has fluffed kick-outs. One you can forgive, 2 maybe, but it's now beginning to be a nervous thing with him, and would relieve him of that duty.
So it's Davis finding Tompkins, still on the 40. Outside to John O'Driscoll. First chance to impress John O'Driscoll. This is John Cleary. Challenged over there, and he holds the ball too long, and it's going to be a free out for Mayo. Noel Durkin, the one who invited the Cork man into the holding error. Liam McHale, that's fisted away from McHale by Conor Coonahan. It reaches Michael Slocum. Jimmy Brown reading it perfectly. Trying to go round Paul McGrath. There's Flanagan into space again. It's that lazy style of McHale. He can be a big influence yet before the conclusion of this match. And a sliding challenge, which the referee didn't appreciate. It's going to be a free for Cork. So as they move back in towards defence, Micheál Collins marking Shea Fahy. Quickly taken by Teddy McCarthy, finding Larry Tompkins. To get some space, Willie Joe Padden. McCarthy once again, it runs loose to John Cleary. And that's gone over the bar. An exemplary finish there by John Cleary, his 3rd point of the match. And there's now a 2-point gap again between the sides. and that's more or less as it was at half-time. Cork with the economy of movement that time and full use of the ball at the finish. Well, Gabriel Irwin from Glenamoy in Mayo still taking the kick out. He plays midfield, incidentally, for his club. Some holding by Larry Tompkins into the back that time, I think, of Willie Joe Padden. Micheál Collins takes the free quickly. Liam McHale in a good run. Good move forward. Now can he finish? Yes, he can. McHale, his first point of the afternoon. And a point now, the margin once again. McHale, probably the most talked about member of this Mayo formation, I suppose, alongside Willie Joe Padden, and a good score.
Very gentle player, but a big strong man. He shipped a very heavy challenge en route to goal that time. Many a fellow might have gone down, but he kept going and took this point extremely well. It might just inspire the team to even greater things now.
Dave Barry then as McHale with that first shot of goal for him, getting the point. And it's Flanagan. John Finn, right-footed to midfield. Again it's McHale, bidding now to dominate. Doing so at the moment. A lovely composed run. Style and panache as well. The direct run forward now by Kevin McStay. A late challenge, however, putting him off his stride and well wide of the target. Mayo with 7 wides, Cork with 6. Cork with a 1-point advantage, Mayo with the only goal so far. Dennis Allen, the player who hasn't scored so far in that Cork attack. Barry Coffey likewise, but he's been replaced. Micheál Collins taking it well. Great composure. This is a lovely build-up by Mayo. Jimmy Brown. Finnerty miscuing, however. He was expecting the ball to drop short. Instead, it was flicked in over his head. And John Kearns and Jimmy Kerrigan, no doubt relieved. Brown, the one who started all of that. Seamus O'Malley in 1936 was a Mayo winning captain. And of course Sean Flanagan in 1950 and 51. I wonder will the name of Jimmy Brown accompany those into the record books. Listen to the Mayo following right now. They might be behind by a point, but they're enjoying themselves. Shea Fahy as the Cork crowd responds down up on Hill 16. Dave Barry. Paul McGrath. Spurning the chance. Cork fans a little disgruntled by some of the shooting inaccuracy in the second half. 5 wides in all now for Cork in the second half as Mayo get ready to bring in a sub very shortly. Mayo having used up one of their sub options already, and again I can explain to those who are not all that terribly familiar with Gaelic games, you can use 3 subs in all in the course of a game. This is Durkin. Jimmy Kerrigan having difficulty controlling, and it's McHale losing control, however, followed by Tony Davis right down along the line. Shot half blocked, it comes to Sean Maher, 2 meters out. McStay trying to make a darting run through, and the referee says that was a foul. And again, when Cork protested, the referee brought the ball forward, and it's now on the 13-metre line, and this should be the equaliser. Michael Fitzmaurice has kicked 5 so far. This was that last move. See what happened once again. Sean Maher finding Kevin McStay through Conor Coonahan, pushed and knocked to the ground. And Fitzmaurice has the onus of responsibility, thrust in his shoulders again, which he confidently takes. And in casual fashion, he's put over his 6th pointed free to tie up the scores for what is the 2nd time in the match. Mayo fans up there, really now overjoyed by the level of their team's performance. 3-1 outsiders, the bookmakers had them. They believe they were supporting a good team, and it's Willie Joe Padden here who could well inspire them yet. Greg Maher pushed to the ground, but given an advantage. Stephen O'Brien, his marker. Noel Durkin, 45 metres out. Full of intent, finding McHale. There's a player loose inside, that's Finnerty, and a brilliant interception that comes to Sean Maher. Looking for a second goal, blocked down brilliantly by a hard-pressed Cork defence right now. And the ball was scooped on the ground by one of the Cork backs, and it's going to be a free in for Mayo, and they can hit the front once again. Teddy McCarthy looking quite disgruntled with himself. But Paddy Collins saw a touch on the ground, but just back a couple of minutes ago, Mayo were menacing once again. A good run forward by Liam McHale, and Finnerty was the player there, but Kerrigan got in the way. It came to Maher, and the block down splendidly once again, and Cork living a charmed existence just now. Fitzmaurice with 6 points so far, and Cork bringing on Michael McCarthy. Michael, who played in last year's All-Ireland final, and Shea Fahy is the one who's been called off. So number 9 Shea Fahy replaced, and McCarthy comes in. He's a corner forward. 18 minutes gone in the second half. Fitzmaurice, sides level. Another well-struck one, and it's over the bar by Fitzmaurice. His 7th gives Mayo the lead once again. That's the amount of time remaining. Everyone, but just about everyone, except for the Mayo fans, said it would be Cork. Cork, who've lost the last 2 finals to Meath. Is it to be third time unlucky? John Kearns with Cork having introduced 2 subs in the second half. And a sideline ball, that'll be for Mayo. John Finn marking John O'Driscoll over on that right wing. Dermot Flanagan, kicker of the sideline ball at a critical stage in the match. Liam McHale blocks it down, the Cork defence freezes, it's Durkin who comes in. Players to aim at, Finnerty is one of them. The driving shot, oh, it's gone screaming across the face of the goal. Well, if Mayo eventually lose this match by a point or two, that might be the moment they'll look back to. That was a glorious opportunity. Finnerty getting possession, and the flashing shot going right across the face of John Kearns' goal. Cork again breathing sighs of relief, collectively. Cork struggling at midfield just now, bidding to get any kind of momentum going in the forwards. And this was the side who led by 4 points in the opening 10 minutes. Finnerty once again from that beautifully directed pass by McHale. Oh, I think he might have gone for a point himself that time, because Greg Maher was not expecting the short ball to come his way. Here's Slocum. There was a push, I think, or was there? Yes, the referee saw a push by Dermot Flanagan on the new man into the Cork attack, Michael McCarthy. So a quarter of an hour, a little less than that, about 14 minutes in fact remaining to decide the destiny of this year's All-Ireland Championship. Slocum taking back that free, which wasn't all that well hit in the first place. Tompkins was calling for it, so was Dennis Allen. Allen with possession, can he give the leadership? He lays it off, inside, and it's gone over the bar. It's a point by Paul McGrath. McGrath's 3rd. So the sides are level once again, and it was Dennis Allen who set up the man from Bishopstown, Paul McGrath. So one wonders, is there to be a winner in this final this afternoon? Mayo have just brought in a sub, and the player who's coming in is Ray Dempsey. Ray Dempsey, who played against Roscommon in this year's Connacht final replay, and he's gone in full forward, been marked by Stephen O'Brien, and Sean Maher is the one who goes off. Maher was also replaced in the semi-final, but then he was injured. So the game very much there for the taking. A compelling championship clash. Micheál Collins there, connecting with Teddy McCarthy. Willie Joe Padden going back into the Mayo defence to pick up Larry Tompkins. Teddy McCarthy at the receiving end of an elbow just a second ago. He's the free taker as well. This is a moment that really is going to test the mettle of both these sides. Mayo, who haven't played in the final before. Cork, who've played in 3 in the last 2 years. That's because of a drawn match last year. Peter Ford struggling to get away from John O'Driscoll. So who's got the greater composure now and the level of commitment in the last 12 minutes? Dermot Flanagan will be the free taker. It's 45 metres from his own goal. Conor Coonahan under it with Greg Maher. It breaks down to Niall Cahalane trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck for Cork. Michael McCarthy rounding Dermot Flanagan. Still Flanagan in pursuit. McCarthy kicking, scoring, and Cork have gone in front once again. A useful substitution by Cork. Michael McCarthy's first point. Cork, who struggled for long passages of the second half. Such was the competitive nature of the Mayo challenge, but they've edged into a 1-point lead as Dermot Flanagan was powerless to prevent McCarthy getting in the right-footed kick, which sailed well over the crossbar of Gabriel Irwin. Back with the action. So Mayo once again facing into a deficit situation. And Jimmy Brown is fouled as he was going onto that one by John Cleary, and coming in as a sub over there seems to be Danny Cullity. And Danny Cullity is a midfield player, and a player indeed who was born in America, in San Francisco, spent the first 16-17 years of his life there, and he moves into midfield. Larry Tompkins, rather, it's Cleary who's gone. And in the rearranged shape of this team, Tompkins has gone back up into the forwards. Cullity's at midfield. The entire left-hand side of Cork's attack has now been changed. This is Dinny Allen. As he was trying to knife his way through, runs into a stern and committed challenge by John Finn, and the referee says it wasn't fair, and it's going to be a free for Cork. Finn, normally a most polished and stylish defender. Attention still being given as we watch it in replay once again. Finn coming across, and the referee says it was an unfair nudge into the back. I think Finn intended to connect shoulder to shoulder, but Dinny swiveled at the right moment from a Cork point of view, and the result, a Cork free. Cork the leaders by a point, I'll remind you, 10 minutes remaining. Who's got more in a tight finish? Tompkins, 4 points in the first half. Only one of those from a free. And he's fluffed the opening. A miss by Larry Tompkins. Disappointed, etched across the face of the former Kildare player. Larry, who made his championship debut in June 1981, then playing for Kildare against Laois in Tullamore. He lost that day, and he doesn't want to be a loser again this afternoon. Neither does Liam McHale. Superb at midfield. Challenged by Dennis Allen. It breaks down to Paul McGrath, 45 metres out from goal. Is the game going to be won and lost in the next few minutes? Teddy McCarthy flying, it's over the bar. Teddy McCarthy's second point. Cork are ahead by 2 points, and there are now just over 8 minutes remaining.
Yeah, good forceful stuff there by Teddy McCarthy. Just referring back to that Larry Tompkins miss. I think Larry is carrying an ankle injury or a calf injury on his left leg, his pivoting leg, which is obviously affecting him as he kicks on a dead ball. I think I'm right about that. Anyway, Larry has now gone in full forward, which would suggest that he's not as mobile as he'd like to.
So Mayo now having it all to do. 2 points adrift. Can they now respond? That's Ray Dempsey. One young player against another. Stephen O'Brien's his marker. It's with Stephen O'Brien. He won't be 20 until just before the end of December. And it's a free to Cork just outside the 45-metre line, their own. Niall Cahalane the taker. Linking up here with Danny Cullity. Looked right. Played it outside to John O'Driscoll. It was a good move by Cork. It might well have yielded a score. Instead, it's another statistic, a wide. Larry Barry Tompkins. One wonders about the injury situation where he's concerned. No strapping on the legs, you'll note. It's Teddy McCarthy. Dave Barry, and the referee says the ball touched on the ground. It's going to be a free for Mayo. TJ Kilgallen will be the free taker. TJ playing his 24th championship match today. And some holding there by Greg Maher, in fact. Some of the Cork defenders were coming to meet that one. Mention of championship matches reminds me that Dennis Allen today and Willie Joe Padden share something. They are both playing their 34th championship match. But will it be a lucky 34th for Dinny or for Willie? Dermot Flanagan facing his own end line, doing well, extricating himself from difficulty, and backed up by TJ Kilgallen through the pass outside there, quite legally towards John Finn. It's picked up by John O'Driscoll. A searing run forward, and there's no marking inside. Paul McGrath was loose, and for a moment there as well, Michael McCarthy was loose. It's with McCarthy. The turn. Well tackled by Micheál Collins, but it's still McCarthy. And the high angle shot has gone over the crossbar, and Michael McCarthy has picked 2 points for Cork since coming on as a substitute. And this Skibbereen player is delighted with himself, you'd be sure, as he opens up a 3-point gap. So a goal separating the sides, and on my watch, 6 minutes to go. Dennis Allen to Danny Cullity. Cork would seem to have weathered the storm, or are we being a bit previous? McCarthy, no luck with his shooting this time. Here's John Finn to set things moving from left half back for Mayo. Mayo have played some really fine football this afternoon. There was a jersey held, it was Liam McHale, it was being held by Teddy McCarthy, and a substitute, Brian Kilkelly, coming in. Kilkelly's the one who comes in. He's come in each of the last 3 matches for Mayo. He's set up goals and he's scored points in the past. Can he do likewise in the remaining 10 minutes of this match? And it's Greg Maher who's the one who's called off. So the 2 Mahers who started this ended in the dugout. TJ Kilgallen will be the free taker. That's 65 metres out from his own goal. Exactly 5 minutes to go now. Cork ahead by 3. Mayo looking for another score, perhaps a goal. Will it be Finnerty who'll set it up for them? That's neatly inside. Kept going. Fitzmaurice with the final shot, rasping, but wide of the target. Mayo's 10th wide in this match. I come back to a point we made a little bit earlier. When Mayo were ahead and Finnerty was put through, and had he scored that match, would Cork now be 3 points to the good? Willie Joe Padden going, meeting, but not gathering. Instead, it's taken over there by Ray Dempsey. Another substitute in this match, Danny Cullity with possession. Dermot Flanagan was trying to get to the ball that time. I think he was being held. The referee allows an advantage, and it's come eventually as a sideline ball. It'll be a sideline ball to Cork. Indication there of the breezy nature of the afternoon.
Yes, that last point by Michael McCarthy might be the crucial one. The Mayo backs were caught ball watching. Lack of concentration, didn't do the marking job. There were 3 Cork forwards free, and the point ensued from that. Bad defensive play by Mayo. That lapse could be costly.
Still under pressure back there in their back division, and it's John Finn, left half back, gathering with poise, thinking deep into a congested midfield, congested with Corkman, but it's taken by Ray Dempsey, and Ray Dempsey holds. He was fouled by Conor Coonahan, and the Cork defence not yielding any space, and the referee Paddy Collins, who's handled the game very well, I feel, penalising the Cork defence a further 10 metres. Kevin McStay looks like he's going to be the one to take it. I feel he might well be better used in around the forward line just now, but it's McStay who takes it in any case. A good ball too. McHale is in there, punched, but stopped by Jimmy Kerrigan. And Kerrigan safely gathers he's fouled and it's going to be a free out. That was a vital interception by Kerrigan, who made another vital interception earlier in the match when McHale was the one again who was leading the path in on goal. That's McStay's well-driven ball, high. McHale is in there waiting, fisted on, and Kerrigan, what positioning. Kerrigan once again, finding Danny Cullity. Cork using their panel well in the second half, and it's Larry Tompkins, who hasn't scored in the second half, I think, so far. High and ambitiously so. He's not going to score on this occasion either. So just under 2 minutes. There's the position. Cork the leaders by 3. Dave Barry fisting it down. John O'Driscoll. Blocked down by Ray Dempsey. It comes to Micheál Collins. This might be Mayo's last hurrah. They've got to engineer some scores quickly. 3 points behind. Jimmy Kerrigan steps into the breach, however, and says, "Thou shalt not pass." It goes down towards Paul McGrath, fisted away by Jimmy Brown, and it's going to be a Cork sideline ball.
Paddy Collins has refereed this game with understanding and good sense, and he has played as much a part as the 36 players in making it one of the best All-Ireland football finals in years.
As Larry Tompkins hones down on goal once again, misdirecting the shot, however. John O'Driscoll's across there with John Finn of Mayo. Finn doing superb. Well caught by John Finn. Dermot Flanagan and Peter Ford to launch another attack. Mayo need a goal if they're to stay in the championship. Slocum. Paul McGrath finding Niall Cahalane. Could he score? What a cheer there would be if he were to do so. And he keeps the ball down the Mayo end of the field. That's about the best we can say about the final shot. John O'Mahony hasn't given up by any manner of means. We're into the last minute, however. John Prenty, the secretary, there too, rousing their team. But Cork, it would seem, are poised to pick up their 5th All-Ireland title. Dinny Allen, Larry Tompkins, trying to get onto the left boot. In fact, it's the right boot eventually, and it screws inside towards Gabriel Irwin. A man outside, and that's Dermot Flanagan. And this really has to be the last attack from Mayo's point of view. Willie Joe Padden is beaten. Mayo looking a little disjointed in the last few minutes. Cork pressing home their advantage. Teddy McCarthy holding it up. Teddy, who scored 2 points so far in the game, fails to add to his tally. Teddy, who's buzzed around well at midfield, given a lot of leadership, and there it is! Cork are the All-Ireland football champions! For Billy Morgan's men, the Odyssey ends in some style. The Taoiseach there, I'm sure, will be one of those people who will salute the Cork team. Cork fashion a victory over Mayo. In the end, there were just 3 points between the teams, but Mayo made Cork fight every step of the way in what was a memorable All-Ireland final. And for Billy Morgan over there and the Cork selectors, the end of a long quest for honour. They win the All-Ireland final. Final score, Cork 17 points, Mayo 1 goal and 11. So the Cork side beaten, and Coleman Corrigan is there with Dr. Con Murphy and John O'Mahony shaking the hand of Billy Morgan, courteous and gracious in defeat. And Morgan this afternoon, very much King Billy, I'm sure. The cup is going to Cork. The side beaten in the last 2 finals has atoned convincingly in the end there. Cork bring back the Sam Maguire back to Leeside for the first time. It'll be in 16 years. That's the county's 5th All-Ireland win. 1890, 1911, 1945 and 1973 when Billy Morgan was goalkeeper and captain. Today he's the team manager. It was 3rd time lucky for Cork.
Well, no one can begrudge Cork. That's no one with any feeling for the game or for sport. 3rd time up for the final. And this Cork team really had to prove themselves today to be accepted as the very good team they are. Maybe now they're on the verge of greatness. There's their coach, Billy Morgan, who for so long has preached the gospel of playing constructive thoughtful, attacking football, and at last the ultimate reward. Well done, Cork. They played well. For a time they seemed to lose their way, but when the time was crucial, they came back to it in midfield, and the wily old heads and the young blood as well, combining for the Sam Maguire victory. Mayo lost the game, but that's all the Connacht champions lost, because they contributed enormously to the occasion.
So Dennis Allen coming up to receive Sam Maguire, a Cork success that ends so many barren years at senior level. Liam Mulvihill with his congratulations, and the patron of the GAA, Dr. Dermot Clifford, as well. Cork, who have done so well at underage level down the years, but somehow bridging that gap between underage teams and senior proved very difficult until now. Congratulations from John Dowling to Dennis Allen, a player who announced his self-imposed retirement 12 months ago following the second All-Ireland final defeat in a row, but he came back, captained the side, and it's his day.
Art Stewart Hall coming Luke Nascale. Agada Karja. Bowalam, Moko Karja Gawal, Leferin Cork again you. Vishian Gosarwa, August Tom Anvuik, Lesh Nae Mahori. A Glockford is on Cliha Heavy again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure and my great privilege to congratulate Cork on winning the All-Ireland Senior Football title here today. They have excelled here in 3 years of All-Ireland finals, and it is only fitting that they should be rewarded today. I want to equally thank and congratulate the men from Mayo for the part that they have played in a wonderful sporting All-Ireland here today. Let us show our appreciation of Mayo for the narrow which they have played. I also want to thank a number of people, our referees, our linesmen, our umpires. I also want to say thanks to all who helped in any way to make this such a wonderful occasion. Particularly, may I thank you, our supporters, and to the RTN Boys Band for a wonderful occasion. Arish, Bogarjikas Corky, Agan Danish, and Corin Sam Maguire, O'Halleen, Captain Freeman Corky.
Crowning moment in a year of brilliant memories as the Munster and League champions Cork complete the clean sweep. Dennis Allen with the team delighted on the steps of the Hogan stand. Sam is going back to Leeside.
Uachtarán, Áras-Big, agus a Carda. Tá an Sorum, Sam Maguire Dlacha, agus a Hógarash, go Corky Taresh, Shady Albion. Supporters of Cork and supporters of the GAA games, it's a great honour for me as captain to accept the Sam Maguire and take it back to the banks of the Lee after 16 years. This present team knows how Moses felt when he wandered in the desert looking for his promised land. I'd like to thank, there's a lot of people that motivated us over the year. Some so-called reporters that kept knocking us, some so-called people in the crow's nest up there. But ye people out there are the people that kept us going. I'd like to thank Bob Holohan, Mick Farr, Sean Murphy, Dave Lukeman, and last but not least, Billy Morgan. Billy Morgan never stopped believing that there was an All-Ireland in this team, and it was his belief for the last 3 years that kept this panel of players going, and it's due mainly to him that we are accepting this cup here today. I'd like to thank our masseurs John Kidd Cronin and Frank Hogan and our team doctor Con Murphy. I'd like to thank the Mayo team for the great have to display today. They'll have to take consolation in looking at the Cork team, where this is our third year. They have to take consolation out of that. And to the Mayo supporters, 'tis now your team needs you in a defeat. They need you now more than if they won the match. So remember that, please, the Mayo supporters. Lastly, I'd like to thank our whole supporters. We've put you through a lot of frustration over the last 16 years. I hope to God today makes up for that. And I'd like to have 3 cheers now for Mayo. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip.
So Dennis Allen then, a very proud moment for him. A place in the record books. But more importantly, the cup going back down south. And a very generous tribute there to Mayo and the superb part they played in this afternoon spectacle. It really was a memorable game of football, very sportingly contested. Teddy McCarthy and Michael McCarthy, there his namesake. Conor Coonahan, he captained Cork 2 years ago. That's Paul McGrath. And Dave Barry there, he has won an All-Ireland. And John Cleary, Tompkins, it was all worthwhile. And I think a moist eye there, yes. John O'Driscoll and Shea Fahy, all of whom played their parts, and Tony Davis, who had a fine game at left half back. Danny Collety, then moving down through some of the substitutes, Dennis Walsh there and Owen O'Mahony, and they've all come up to substitute goalkeeper Michael Maguire rather, Tony Nation, who was the captain, and John Kearns, a fine goalkeeper, and finally there's Stephen O'Brien. Mick Burns there from Castlehaven, one of the subs as well. And it's fitting that they all came up to share in what was a glorious moment, a moment they're always going to remember. And so the Cork fans surround their team. The team will have as much difficulty getting into their dressing rooms after all of that. But it was a day they certainly enjoyed, and a match we hope that people everywhere have enjoyed with us. And at that point, we're going to say farewell to our viewers on Channel 4 with the news that Cork are the All-Ireland football champions from Croke Park in Cork, Dublin. Bye-bye.
Well, this is the moment of joyous confusion, I suppose, down there for the Cork supporters and the Cork team as they try and come down from the presentation podium and make their way back to the dressing room, which they will be doing any time between now and next Christmas. Sean Boylan, it was a marvellous victory for Cork, I'm sure.
It must make up for all the disappointments that they've had over the last few years. But like, the thing is, every year is different, and they played great football today. They showed great composure when Mayo came back and Mayo went ahead, and they showed what champions are made of. And full marks to them, and every congratulations to them, Michael.
OK, Sean, we'll be hearing more of the views of Sean and Mick O'Dwyer a little bit later on. But while that Cork team try and make their way to the dressing room, we take a commercial break.
Here's a fresh new idea from Mars and Avonmore you'll really go for. New Mars Milk, with all the goodness of Avonmore fresh milk and all the great taste of Mars. New Mars Milk. Go for it.
Did you know that Kerry Low Low has a lot less going for it? Less fat, less cholesterol, less calories, and a much lighter taste than many sunflower spreads you might care to mention. Now, doesn't it do your heart good to hear that? Golden Light Low Low from Kerry.
And now, gentlemen, the matter of the Cork and Limerick Savings Bank. Just like us, they offer current accounts. But they've low charges. And they offer deposit accounts. But they pay more. They've got these cash card thingies and loans for jolly well everything. And gentlemen, they have the nerve to stay open lunchtime. Lunch? And the gall to be friendly.
It is the end of civilization as we know it.
Cork and Limerick Savings Bank. The beginning of civilized banking as you know it.
And when yesterday is gone,
cure can put things right. Taste and flavor never wrong. Cultivates you to the light. Cultivates you to the light.
There's the caring examiner, the daring examiner, the leisure, the pleasure, the what to wear weekend examiner. There's the global news examiner, local views examiner, the EEC, what's on TV, the lady sings the blues examiner. There's financial report examiner, what happened in court examiner, Dáil debates, how farming rates, and the whole wide world of sport examiner. The Cork Examiner, giving the news that extra dimension.
250 jukebox stereo radio cassette players must be won. Collect any 5 wrappers from Mars, Twix, Marathon, Maltesers or Bounty and pick up an entry form from your local store.
Have you made the boat fast? You ought to paint the mast. You can say without any reply. But what about the bran flakes? Real Kellogg's bran flakes is what they all reply. They're tasty, tasty, very, very tasty. They're very tasty. Have you scrubbed the floor deck? Did you get a weather check? A barracuda's biting you bound. But what about the bran flakes? Real Kellogg's bran flakes is what they all reply. They're tasty, tasty, very, very tasty. They're very tasty. Kellogg's bran flakes. They're very tasty.
When you've got style, flaunt it. Uno, by Fiat.
Sheep are in danger from Pasteurella and Clostridial diseases. Protect them with Heptavac P, the only combined Pasteurella and Clostridial vaccine for sheep from Herbst.
For weddings and functions, check out the newly refurbished Hibernian Hotel, Mallow, County Cork.
Civilised banking in Mayo, Cork and Limerick Savings Bank, soon at Ballina and Castlebar.
Don't miss the crack at Listowel Races, the festival race meeting of the season.
Be a winner with Morahan and Hughes, the bathroom specialists. Tuam Road, Galway. For Silomac block cutters, shear grabs, bale wrappers and slurry pumps, contact McHale Engineering, Kilmaine, County Mayo. Win, lose or draw, you'll always score with great value at McGreevy's Westport.
The Imperial Hotel Cork, the ideal businessman's good value grade A hotel.
Welcome back again, and so then Cork are the All-Ireland champions and Derry are the champions in minor football after their victory earlier today over Offaly. A nice little idea, by the way, down at the pitch at Croke Park introduced this year. The Artane Boys Band come out again at the end of the day to entertain the supporters who have stayed on in celebration, and of course it is Cork's day today. Let me go back to my panel again of Sean Boylan and Mick O'Dwyer. Mick O'Dwyer, I think over the last couple of years, Cork have shown us just exactly what they can do when they get over Kerry and Munster. It's their third final in a row, and now they've won it.
Well, it took them 3 years to win it, and now that they have won one, Michael, the danger is that they could go on and win a few more, you know. They're going to be a tough proposition for us in Munster next year. But in fairness to Billy Morgan and Denny Allen and all those guys, they've put in so much work for Cork over the past 15 years. And I think this win was only due to them, in fairness. Billy Morgan has been criticised from time to time, but I think he's a fantastic coach and he did great work with that Cork team. He has worked at them over the past 3 years. The last 2 years it was disappointing for them, I suppose, in the way that they had beaten Meath. But I think now it will make it a lot more, it will make it sweeter for them that they have come back this year and won it.
Sean, a word about Mayo, because there are, of course, very strong Mayo-Meath connections. An awful lot of Mayo people actually living down in Meath, and one or two of the Meath players have Mayo connections as well. Will they be back?
I don't see any reason why they won't, because they're a very, very young side overall. And the way their game has improved, even in the 12 months since last year, is quite phenomenal. And they really came at Cork in a big way there today, and only for exceptional performances by people like Dave Barry and Paul McGrath and so on. Like, that's what lifted Cork today. And of course, it's the sign of a good team when you get, on a different day, a different man can do the job for you. Great victory for Cork, great effort by Mayo.
Right, Sean, well, I can tell you that some of the players have, in fact, made their way to the dressing room area right now. Jimmy McGee got in a little bit ahead of them, and he's there to talk to us now.
But it's not exactly bedlam down here, but it's not exactly quiet either. Billy Morgan, at long last, the quest is over.
Thanks very much, Jim.
Now, at what stage, if any, did you think maybe one more time is going away from us?
No, they'll kill me if I say otherwise, but I never thought it was going to go away from us at any stage. When they got the goal, the only time I was a little bit worried after we came back after goal to go ahead, and then they went up and went to point up and had a few chances to maybe put it beyond us, but I always said they both talked about the character in this Cork team, and even when the goal went in, there was no way we were going to lose.
And Billy, you've always preached constructive, thoughtful football, and whenever you did that, things were looking good for you. There were a few times you departed from that today.
Well, a lot of times that we departed from it, and when we sit down and talk, they didn't play their simple style football. A lot of the time we were carrying the ball and getting caught in possession and then forced to kick hurriedly, which meant it was going in high into our forwards, which didn't suit us, you know. I suppose possibly the tension of the thing, but again, their character came through, they hung in there.
It was all calm on the bench, was it? I doubt it somehow or other.
Very calm. Myself
come on, tell the truth.
Myself and Dr. Conn said about 10 minutes ago, I said, I can't go through any more of this. I'm packing it in. He said, I said, no way, we spend hang on for them. See all the grey hair?
I thought it was as grey before the game.
It was, but 3 years ago it was jet black and that.
Billy, you deserve all the congratulations, and from your team behind you.
Very much.
Come on, lads. Billy Morgan there, Dennis Allen. The long wait is over for you two. It's tremendous. Long career.
Well, the longer on it goes, all right, Jim, you begin to think that it's not going to happen, you know. If someone told me 3 years ago I was sitting up in the Upper Cusack, and if someone told me that in 2 years after that we'd be taking Sam and I'd be captain of the team, like, I just wouldn't believe it, you know. It's something like that. It seems to be like something that was written in a storybook or something like that, you know.
It's a remarkable career for you because you missed out the 73 when you might have well been here.
Yeah, I mean, it's 73 to 89. It's a long, hard slog. There's a lot of sprints and a lot of things being done since then, you know, a lot of sore heads and a lot of frustrations, but, you know, it's amazing how it turned out in the end, you know.
And a good match.
Yeah, it seemed to be a good match. Probably have to look at it again tomorrow, but it seemed to be a very close, good, clean, hard game, you know, and everybody seemed to enjoy it, you know, even me. I'd say enjoy the day out at this stage, you know.
You're the only man who's lost 10 years in age in one match. Lost 10 years.
That's right. I feel about 26, 27 now at this stage, all right, yeah.
You started off as a 37-year-old.
I started off at a 37, and by the final whistle, when the final whistle blew, I lost 10 years, but not until then.
Dennis, thank you very much indeed. Well done. John Cleary, come over in here to us. You were asking me a question there just before we went there. What was it?
It was just, you know, after it seemed like a very exciting game to play, and I was just wondering, was it a good game overall?
It was terrific. I enjoyed it. I'm sure that thousands more enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Now, to play in it was a good open game. And in fact, at one stage, I said it could nearly have been played without a referee. It was that sort of game.
I'd say that. It seemed that the ball was always on the move, and you know, just it seemed like a very free-flowing game, and we were kept on your toes all the time. There was no chance to, you know, the ball didn't go dead many times, and there wasn't that many frees, I thought. And
from pitch level, where did you think Cork swung it?
I suppose with a quarter of an hour to go, you know, I suppose our experience of the last 2 years definitely stood to us. Maybe Mayo came within the finishing post as we did last year and the year before, and maybe they just thought to themselves, you know, maybe we're going to win in All-Ireland, and maybe that's why they faltered a little, you know. And I thought around the middle of the field, Cork took the initiative then, and
Would you agree with me that you have to lose before you win?
Well, it makes it all the more sweeter, you know. 2 years ago, no.
No, but you've learned.
We've learned, definitely, yeah. Definitely, we've learned an awful lot, and I would say Mayo played very, very well today, and I'm sure they'll learn from it, you know.
John, thank you for joining us.
No
Joining me here on my right-hand side, Larry Tompkins. I said there during commentary that you may have been carrying an injury. Can you confirm that?
That's right. I'd say by early Thursday morning I was considered very, very doubtful, Jimmy. You know, it was just, I'd say, the grace of God and a lot of physio work, and that I came through, you know.
Was it on your kicking leg or the other leg?
No, the left leg. And
that's what I thought. And so
yeah.
wasn't it difficult for you there to kick place balls? Why did you continue?
Well, I didn't get that many kicks to kick, to be honest with you, Jimmy. I got 2 in the first half and just 1 in the second half. Like Mayo were very disciplined and not fouling inside 30-40 yards, so I didn't get that many kicks, but thank God anyway we came through on one, and that's the main thing.
Well, at long last, and was there ever a time today when you said, oh no, not again?
This team has shown all the year that it's great character in it, and you know, as before, Jimmy, you know, the last couple of years we tend to have panicked, but this time we held our heads, and you know, okay, there was a few times that we probably lost the ball and overdone it, but certainly we held our heads, and that comes with a few years being here, Jimmy. And,
yes, you can't beat the experience. Larry, thank you, and
very
congratulations
much,
to you. Well done. Dave Barry, there are not many men who in 1 week could be in Moscow and Croke Park But Croke Park was a good sub, wasn't it?
That was great. Unbelievable feeling.
Yeah.
I've been chasing this since 1980 and now it's come true. I can't believe it. You know, it's
Yeah,
great.
and Cork's use of the ball, their cohesion, their smartness, I think overall they deserve it.
Well, Mayo weren't too bad themselves, you know, they were...
Oh, as Jimmy McGee talks to Dave Barry there, I'm afraid we must leave it from Croke Park for today. My thanks to Sean Boyle and to Mick O'Dwyer for joining me on the panel. The Sunday game tonight is on Network 2 at 9:35. Our live phone-in, don't forget, 616-000, the number to ring if you have any thoughts on today's match. We'll also, of course, be presenting the man of the match from the football final 1989. But from all of us here at Croke Park for the moment, bye-bye to you.